What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today, I'm going to be showcasing a Shadow Tyranitar team in the EYC meta. This Pokemon is one of my favorites that I've tried out so far in this format. It's a lot of fun because of its damage output, but also its core-breaking potential. Running Dragon Breath as a fast move allows you to beat the other dragons. It has great pacing with Brutal Swing, and Stone Edge hits like a truck, so this Pokemon is a lot of fun to use. Really quick, before we get into the battles, I want to say if you're not currently subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. It helps out quite a bit, and I'd really appreciate it. But let's get into the battles and see what this team can do. Shadow Tyranitar into Evil. Okay, well, I resist most of their moveset. If they want to build up to 9 full Sucker Punches, they can go for a Play Rough here. But I guess looking at this matchup a little bit further, like, what is to stop them from going straight Night Slash? Not a lot, right? This Pokemon does do quite a bit of fast move pressure either way, but I can still no-shield this up, and it isn't going to do that much to us. No boost, which is good. Or we'll go for a bait, and we'll see how they respond. Maybe we get a shield, maybe we get a no-shield. No-shielded it is. Alright, I'm going to go for a catch on a Night Slash, and I'm going to sneak a full rollout. This saves a lot of energy on my Tyranitar. It also wastes a full Night Slash from this Thievul, because that's not going to do a lot to Licky Licky. Oh, well, they get a boost. That's not great. But it's fine, because, I mean, at this point... is this fine? I don't know. I wish they didn't boost. That was kind of rude. They shouldn't have done that. But they're basically in Body Slam plus rollout downrange. Yeah. I think the play here is going to be to shield a Licky Licky. At this point, my switch clock should be coming back up in just a second here. I can swap if I need to. And I should be able to roll out down if they stay in. Which gives us a lot of energy coming out of that. Whoa. They come in Shadow Drapion here. What are the odds they know my moveset? Do they think that Earthquake is standard? Oh, they actually come in regular Drapion, that is. We'll go for a CMP on a Brutal Swing. If they want to shield this, they can get their Aqua Tail off, but then I have a shield advantage Ariados in the back line. That seems like it's a pretty good Pokemon. And if they no-shield, I get a Brutal Swing likely into the last Pokemon. Dragalge comes in. Alright. I mean, honestly, getting this damage off is huge here. Because Dragalge... Oh, especially if I actually do land the move. I thought they'd shield that for sure. Dragalge's kind of a wall to Ariados. But I've actually looked into that matchup. It's not as bad as it should be. It's honestly not that terrible for Ariados, just because you spam out debuffs. And I guess there we go, we got the win. Next battle, Shadow Tyranitar into Shadow Kingdra. There we go. I mean, we have the non-stab Dragon Breath, but they're weak to Dragon Breath. I'm only neutral to it, so I'd imagine this matchup has to be pretty good for us. Yep, they swap out into a Spidops, which is cheating. They're not supposed to switch in the Go Battle League. Licky Licky is one of the best Spidops answers in the game, but Spidops is one of the best Pokemon in this meta, so we'll see what they want to do. You get a no-shield on that first one. Makes sense. Like, who really wants to shield a Body Slam of all things? I'll no-shield this one. And I mean, once this Pokemon goes away, I'm imagining my Tyranitar has got to be pretty safe into their team. So even if I don't win Switch here, which, I mean, I might be able to, I might not, though, depending on how broken Spidops is. We'll see. But either way, I can just neutralize this, and my Tyranitar should be in a pretty good spot once this is gone. That go. Another lunge going to come through here in just a second. And honestly, I feel like this might knock us out. Is Spidops just the best Pokemon in Pokemon Go? It could very well be. It is. What do you know? That's fine. We just farm this down with the Ariados then. We get a lot of energy here, and we can lunge the Kingdra. And I don't think Shadow Kingdra wants to take a lunge from an Ariados. Or I don't think a Licky Licky wants to take a lunge either. I mean, at this point, don't we just play this matchup out and save our Tyranitar for the Kingdra? I feel like that's not a bad play. Okay, let that go. Okay, or I guess if they do this, that's also fine. Now I guess I don't realize I have so much energy here. I'm going to get a lunge off, which should be able to draw a shield or basically knock them out. And I think this forces them now to go for an Outrage against my Ariados here. Unless a Shadow Swift puts us into farm down range, which I guess maybe it could. Go for the Swift. Yeah, get the move. Please, Ariados? Okay, Ariados, you're just insane. Ariados is slowly becoming one of my favorite Pokemon in this meta, I think. They have to shield this, but they also can't. I know this is just a Swift, but I feel like I can't take the risk that it's not. So we'll shield this up. A big shield on the Swift. And I hate to say it, but I think this Licky Licky is not going to enjoy this Shadow Stone Edge. That just knocks out? Dude, what is that damage? Alright, Shadow Tyranitar, I see you. Next opponent, we'll see Shadow Tyranitar into the Spidops. Okay, let's get out of here. You know, maybe they're on Shadow Claw. Maybe I should stay in. I don't think I've seen a single Shadow Claw Spidops in my whole time of looking into this meta, though. So, yeah, no, we'll just go for the swap out into the Body Slam, and we'll see what they want to do. Getting this Body Slam off is actually pretty huge, though, because not only will it put them down pretty low, it's also stalling the switch clock. They're at half HP, and I think at this point, that's much more manageable for Shadow Tyranitar, because a Brutal Swing plus Dragon Breath damage could be enough to just knock them out at this point. Probably bring in their own Licky. What is this? Shadow Milotic. Wow, that's cool. Not exactly a pick I was expecting to see here. That's actually a little bit scary, though, now that I'm thinking about it. Because I'm debuffed, I'm not going to be able to do too much damage here, and they'll get a lot of energy out of this. 6. Okay. I think I have an idea of what I should do here. We'll see how stupid it's going to be. I'm going to come in Shadow Tyranitar. And I think I'm just going to double shield my Shadow Tyranitar and farm down. I really don't like doing that, but I think that's like my only play right now, because this Milotic is too bulky to be able to farm down without doing this. But if I get this much energy, then maybe that Spidops isn't going to be quite as scary later on this game. They might even just swap to Spidops now, though, but if they do, I can go for my lunge on my Ariados. So, we'll do that. Make sure we don't take any unnecessary damage here this game. Lunge immediately. I could try to go for a Mega Horn here, but I don't think that really matters. I think a lunge should be able to put them into Poison Sting downrange at some point. Yeah. They might get a lunge off themselves. I don't think they get a Rock Tomb. But if they do Rock Tomb us, that's not great. Ah, okay, they do. Well, this game's probably a loss. I'm down 2 shields. I have no HP. And there's... Yeah. Ah. That was not a great team comp to see. Honestly, Shadow Milotic kind of unraveled my team there. Alright, next battle. See Shadow Titar into Ariados. Okay. I don't hate this lead, but it's also more awkward than it should be for a rock type. Just because I don't think you actually can one-shot them here with a Brutal Swing plus a Dragon Breath damage, unless they let the first one. Let's see what they do here, though. We'll go instantly for this move. They know it's not a Stone Edge, so they can no-shield and win the zeros if they want to. Which is what they go for. But I mean, Tyranitar here, as long as I shield, takes almost no damage from this Pokemon. And if I need to, I can catch a lunge at some point, or I can just swap out and clear my debuff, depending on what they do game. 5, alright. So they're already at the next lunge here, but I feel like the play is probably just going to be double shield and farm down, actually. I could have gone for a play here where, you know, maybe I go for a catch right now, but, well, they actually go for the catch. That's kind of crazy. 7? Okay. I could be at Stone Edge. I would be surprised if they let this go, but they could. See what they do. They do let it go. Okay. That's crazy. In my opinion. In my humble opinion, that's crazy. But if I Stone Edged, you'd be dead. You would just be dead if I Stone Edged. That's fine. I can just overfarm a lot of energy here. Now I have back-to-back attacks ready. One for this, one for whatever comes in. If Ariados comes in, then I want to instantly Brutal Swing. If something else comes in, I probably want to switch out. Probably Ariados doesn't come in here, but maybe it does. That is a Grimmsnarl, so we'll swap. We save our energy, which should be pretty good for us to have done. But Grimmsnarl here could put in some work against us, I suppose. It's going to be able to do a lot of damage with shields down, but Body Slam, as you can see, does quite a bit of damage to it as well. We're at 9, could be a play rough, I suppose, but I'd be surprised if that knocked us out. It's not that strong of an attack here. Just a foul play, yeah, we survived that. And they can go for a combo play if they really want to, but I think that's actually a bad play for them to have done that. It will knock out my Licky Licky, but this just opens up a farm down for my Ariados here, where I can get a lot of energy and start spamming out lunges into that Grimmsnarl. And we have to keep in mind, I do have a Brutal Swing that likely is not going to do a lot of damage this game, but it doesn't really have to. All it has to do is, like, 5 damage, and that'll be enough. Because if my Ariados somehow goes down, by the time it does go down, if that does happen, they'll be in Brutal Swing range. Yeah, Poison Stings just do way too much here. One Foul Play wouldn't knock us out even without that debuff, but especially with the debuff, we should be fine. Big Foul Play, big Survive, and big Poison Sting down. Beautiful. Alright, next opponent. Shadow Tyranitar into Licky Licky. Alright, well, we know this thing likely has Earthquake here, but no matter what happens in this matchup, my fast move pressure as well as my Stone Edge does so much damage to them. So likely we get some shields here pretty early on. I'm going to go for a bait with a Brutal Swing because it feels like that's not a bad idea to go for. If I get the proper bait off, this matchup becomes really nice for us. If we don't even, that's still fine. Nice, we actually got a full catch. Well, a catch and a full sneak on a rollout, that is. No shield the Earthquake, I don't care. Oh, the Body Slam especially, so they're at 3, so that's a lot of wasted energy by them. Oh. Now, all this talking up how good I am at this game, and then they just bring in their own Shadow Tyranitar. That is unfair. That is insane. But we'll go for a bait. A no shield. Smart no shield, I suppose. They have to go for a big move to knock us out. I feel like they're going to go for it. That might be a crazy thing to say, but I feel like they will. Yeah, they do. Because at this point, who wants to shield a Licky Licky that just got their bait called on them? Not me. Not me normally, that is. But I feel like if I shield this up, I go for the Body Slam, now they're going to be in Brutal Swing range. We can just go for that now. And if they shield this, that's fine by me. If they no-shield this, that's also kind of fine by me. Nice. I'm happy that thing's gone. Honestly, every time I see Shadow Tyranitar, I kind of freak out a little bit. So, I'm happy that thing is out of here. Oh, Tyranitar, you menace. You're just too quick, Tyranitar. You just outpace? Well, we rather win CMP when they reach the Earthquake. This Pokemon's insane. They shield. I'm gonna let this go. If it's a Body Slam, I survive. If it's an Earthquake, that's all of their energy down the drain. And I can bring in my Licky Licky here. Worst case scenario is like maybe a Ghost type in the backline, but I think my Ariados is fine up a shield against anything. Yeah, in comes the Kingdra. And I think we can go straight Mega Horn here and just be fine. I could try to go for double lunge, because I would outpace them. But I think Mega Horn's just the funnier play, so that's what we'll go for. Yeah, big Swift from them. They know I'm an Ariados. They know if I let that go, honestly, the game gets really awkward if that was an Outrage. But I'll just play it safe, shield the bait, and go straight for the Mega Horn. Isn't quite one-shot, but it's close enough, right? We still have our Licky Licky, and we're not even in range here, where a Body Slam knocks out our Ariados. So we should survive this. And if we don't, Licky Licky finishes it off. If not, Ariados finishes it off. Big Body Slam. Yeah, that's nothing. Okay, we'll Mega Horn this. They're staying in. I don't know why. Mega Horn is just too fun. If it just had a little bit more damage. I don't know if you should buff Mega Horn, but we could be getting some pretty cool one-shots if they did give it just a little bit more. Alright, Shadow Tyranitar into Licky Licky. You know, I feel like this Pokemon is pretty good in this meta. We see Licky Licky everywhere. Okay. Well, we see a save swap of a Spidops. Potentially, I should have come in here with my Ariados, but I just wanted to get out of that matchup a little bit quicker than anything else, so I just swapped. And it's fine. I honestly don't hate Ariados into the other guy as well. Ariados into, what's it called, Licky Licky, it's still pretty neutral. Especially because I'd likely get a Poison Sting down against this Pokemon. If they end up, winning Switch here. Alright, big Body Slam, let's see what they do. I would be very surprised to see anything other than a no shield come through. Body Slam, let's let go. And they'll get a lunge off in just a second here, which will, in fact, knock us out. That sets up a really nice farm down here for my Ariados. And likely Spidops was their best answer. Tyranitar, right? Surely? I would imagine. If not, then I will be kind of scared. Nice, we get a huge farm down there. In fact, I'm just one away from a Mega Horn. So I'm going to go for it here against the Licky Licky. That's going to make my life a lot easier. To where I only need to go for Brutal Swings against them to knock them out. Do the second bug by Easer. I could see that happening. What is this? Oh, it actually is. Oh, no. I don't think I get two Brutal Swings off here. Uh-oh. Um, yeah, well played, I guess. They got the Shadow Bug Bite Beedrill. If I got that next move off here, I'd be so happy. I think I would have won this game if I did, but I think the fact that I don't likely is a loss here now. But we still play this out, because there might still be a chance here for us. They go for the X-Scissor Bait, because they know they just need damage. Okay. We'll go for the Mega Horn in a, an attempt to knock out this Beedrill. The problem is that Licky Licky just outpaces us, so it can always no-shield. Oh, they shield that, though. That's interesting. I have to shield again here. But if they bring in that Licky Licky and I don't have a move ready, which they probably do, yeah. A lunge wouldn't have knocked out here anyway. I needed to be one away from a Mega Horn by the time this thing came back in. Ah, man, I don't know how he could have won this one. I maybe go for a switch advantage, I guess, but double Bug Bite users, that's not super ideal for my team. Alright, next game. Shadow Tyranitar into Spidops. Okay, seeing a lot of Bug Bite users now. We gotta get out of here as quick as we can. This is a pretty bad lead matchup for us. Bring in Licky Licky. Honestly, again, maybe I should have brought in my Ariados here. Oh, but they actually just swap and catch on Licky Licky, which is... That's fine, I guess. I mean, I'm up energy against this. Maybe I can try to flip this a bit. They didn't sneak a rollout, so that's good as well. And they go for a body slam here, which I should be able to survive. If I don't survive a body slam, I would be surprised. Big body slam. Yeah, we live that. We'll go for the Earthquake now, because it does do quite a bit more raw damage here. It likely puts them into range where body slam could knock them out. And we'll see what they do. Big Earthquake. Big no-shield. And that is, once again, just a body slam. I should survive this. We'll no-shield and see what they do. Body slam here. I'm at back-to-back, so if they shield one, they'd have to shield two. Actually, I think that was a CMP, so maybe they'd be fine here to shield this and get their move off to get a shield back. But no, they do let that go. In comes the Spider. Not surprising. Very strong Pokemon in this meta, but I do have my Body Slam ready to go. I think they're at, like, 13 Bug Bites. Can I get another Body Slam, please? That'd be so fun. Licky Licky, no! If I got that Body Slam off, maybe I'd be more happy about my position in this game. We shield the Rock Tomb. I think we have to at this point, because if this Spidops is too healthy, I just lose. Okay, that's honestly fine, though. If they throw before I get a move, I know it's just a Swift. And if they don't, then I get my move off first, which does quite a bit of damage, or maybe gets a shield. Okay, they do let that go. I mean, I let this go, right? Don't I win this? Because they have to Outrage here. I Poison Sting down, start spamming out lunges into that Spidops. I think I'm fine. Even if they get a move off here, it's only going to be a Swift of all things. And they might not even reach that. They don't. Okay. Okay. You know, Spidops might be good. Kingdra might be good. Licky Licky might be good. I guess Ariados is just better. Ariados is just sick. Yeah, they kind of have to no-shield that. Because they know later on I could Mega Horn them. And it takes so long to reach a Rock Tomb. It has great coverage in this meta, that Spidops, right? Richie, oh boy. Shadow Tyranitar into Furret. Okay. Richie is such a good battler. Let's see what he's gonna be doing here today. Likely on Quick Attack, right? Yeah. So Quick Attack Furret is a little bit quicker to reaching charge attacks than Sucker Punch, which is actually a little bit scary here. Because the quicker they reach moves, it means the more they can pressure my shields as the Shadow Tyranitar. Brick Break is very much super effective into us, so we have to keep that in mind. But I will shield the first one. I don't want to get one shot by a Brick Break. That'd be kind of embarrassing. Well, I guess a Swift as well. But here's the thing. You have to double Swift Bait here to make that matter at all. And if they do double Swift Bait, then, I mean, at that point, they're basically knocked out anyway. Let's see what they do here. This one probably gets a shield. Yeah. And they throw immediately after. So keep in mind, he is right now at a Swift in 4 more quick attacks. Okay, Grimmsnarl comes in. little bit slow on the swap in here, which is actually not amazing for me, because I likely do now lose this matchup. They can shield once and farm down if they want to. I imagine would not be a bad play. But I'm also kind of fine losing this matchup, because Licky Licky then can come in and ramp up a little bit itself. Although maybe they no-shield this. No, they do shield. I think I'm fine with that shield, though. 5. Yeah, I mean, my Poison Stings on their own did quite a bit of damage. Alright. Licky Licky can survive the damage here. Likely a foul play coming through. Oh, it's a power-up punch? That's insane. I don't know how much that's going to help him here. Okay. Licky comes in. 4. That was only 4, right? That's not going to be anything other than a body slam. Maybe a Shadow Ball? Okay, it's actually Shadow Ball in the EUIC meta. That's crazy. I don't know if Brutal Swing, like 2 Brutal Swings or 1 Stone Edge does more damage. So we'll just go for the straight up Stone Edge here. Yeah, that does a lot of damage. They'll get a Body Slam off into my Licky Licky, but I think that's fine. Turret is still around. Same with that Grimmsnarl here. We'll see what they do, and in what order they do it. Honestly, I think I just spam out Body Slams, though, right? Like, is there any reason not to? I could have Earthquaked this, but I was kind of worried about what if they caught, right? I didn't want to let that be a lose condition, so I just went here straight for the Body Slam. Oh, wait, that just knocks out. Grimmsnarl is so bad. Don't use Grimmsnarl. Why is that thing so squishy? Body Slam should knock out the Furret now, too. And that should be a win, right? Yeah, because Licky Licky is just crazy, I guess. It gets the sweep. Alright, next battle. Shadow Tyranitar into Shadow Venomoth. Is this on Psywave or Bug Bite? Likely Bug Bite, right? Yeah, ow, 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 ow. Let's get out of there. That's not exactly ideal. We'll see what we can do. They're at 6 right now. So, this isn't a bad matchup necessarily for Licky Licky, but I was gonna say, if they want to start shielding, they can end up making this work for them. Where they can go for a Rock Tomb here and basically knock us out. I think, though, I might survive this just barely, which would be pretty nice if I survive this enough to be able to get my Earthquake off here. Yeah, that's actually beautiful. And they get one more Sucker Punch out of it. But here's the thing, they're gonna be able, to survive this anyway. I might as well undercharge this, just so I get more Dragon Breaths here against the Spiritomb. I could have undercharged more. I was unsure on how that was going to work out. I'm not as accustomed to my Earthquake Licky as I guess I should be. Ow. Why? I mean, technically I resist a lot of the damage they throw here. I think they're on Bug Buzz, Poison Fang, maybe? So they likely just Poison Fang first. I'd imagine. Yeah. Alright. We'll go for a very bold play here. I'm just going to go straight for the lunge, right? Because the lunge here is going to debuff them and make it so I take less damage. That's what they thought. That's what they thought I'd do. I mean, at this point, I've cleared my debuff on my Tyranitar. I've got some energy on Tyranitar as well, and this Venomoth is going to be out of the way, so I'll just let this go down. Tyranitar farms this down. I take, like, 2 more Bug Bites, which does half my health. Honestly, all my health's gone from taking, like, 5 Bug Bites here so far. And it's a Kingdra in the back, so it's going to come down to maybe a catch here to see if I can win this or not. Or maybe the fast move pressure could just be a little bit too much for us anyway. There is still that Spiritomb in the back line. Actually, the fast move pressure is just going to do us in. I might do super effective damage here, but Tyranitar is not well known for its bulk. Oh, man. Next opponent, we'll see Shadow Tyranitar into Miltank. Okay, I mean, that's a unique rollout user. I'm happy that we have one free thinker today. Keep in mind, if they throw after 4, I will shield. And they don't. I mean, I'll still shield, but if they did throw after 4, I would consider Gyro Ball, and I would potentially be very annoyed if I let that go. They're at Body Slam, so that's fine. They're at another Body Slam now. They're 1 away from a Gyro Ball, so we'll see what they want to do. I think I'm just going to go for the double Brutal Swing play. Because that's the most consistent way to deal with this. Okay. I guess everyone loves using Shadow Tyranitar. That's fair. That's honestly, like, why wouldn't you? It's a really cool Pokemon. Alright, do we get a shield here? Or do they let this go? Those are the two choices in the Go Battle. We get a shield, okay. I'm gonna no-shield this. I survive a Stone Edge from this range, and honestly, I'm fine if they Stone Edge us. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I literally said I'd be fine if they did that, and now I can Body Slam. This might be a crazy play, but they could Brutal Swing us if I didn't do this, and I think I'd rather just guarantee some damage to put them into Dragon Breath downrange than anything else. Okay. Spiritomb in the back. This is gonna be an interesting game. Please tell me that Sucker Punch knocked us out. It didn't, so they get one more fast move through that I didn't really want them to. Okay. I should be able to outpace this to a Mega Horn, win CMP, knock them out, and then surely I win the game. Surely that happens, right? Like, it's gotta happen one day. Yes, Ariados can lose this CMP. Well, GG. They got us. I thought this was, like, heavily favored for Ariados. Either they have a really bad Spiritomb, or... man. If I won that CMP, I shield, I get a lunge here. I don't know if that honestly matters. I think that Miltank still has a decent amount of HP to him. Dang. Okay, I thought that was almost a guaranteed CMP win for Ariados against Spiritomb, but now I know. Now I know. I mean, most people probably do just have them from quests. Only a 2-3. That's tragic. But that happens sometimes. The learning experience for us all. Once again, I'm not disappointed in Shadow Tyranitar. It's such a fun pick. It's very spammy, very offensive, and a lot of fun to use. This team worked out pretty well for me today, so give it a go if you want to try out this Pokemon. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.